Welcome back to another lesson of Adobe Photoshop. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the Edit tab or the Edit ribbon, and also we are going to know about the 5 more tools of Adobe Photoshop and also with examples. Okay, so I'm going to open up Adobe Photoshop and now I'm going to open up a photo. So let's say I'm going to use the previous photo which I used. I'm going to click on it and you will see that this photo has appeared up just as I left it. Okay, as I'm not going to need any of those, I'm going to press Ctrl Z or Escape, whichever one I need. Okay, so I'm going to click on File, I'm going to click on New, and then let's say I'm going to open up another one, and then you'll be able to add in your photo too if you want to. But if you don't want it, just go back to Home. Let's say I'm going to select this one. I'm going to use this one first, okay? I'm going to remove that one as I don't have any edits done on this photo. Okay, so in the previous lesson, we were done on this crop and then slice tools, okay, which was used by C of, keyboard. And now I'm going to use these 5s right now, which is going to be Frame Tool, Eyedropper Tool, then Spot Healing Brush Tool. Then we have is this Brush Tool. Then we have this next one is Clone Stamp Tool, okay, which is going to help you to clone a certain object. Then what we're going to know about is this Edit ribbon and the functionality it has to provide in Adobe Photoshop. Okay, and how it will actually work, and you will see that there are more of these options and more of these functionalities Adobe Photoshop has. So first off, let's start off by knowing these tools. Okay, first off is going to be the Frame Tool, which you can use by pressing on K. So let's say I'm going to select this part of, this person, and I'm going to remove it, or, you can frame it however you want. That is what this Frame Tool is all about. Okay, now as I'm done with this Frame Tool, let's say I'm going to click on this whole body, and I'm going to select on this part. Let's say I'm going to select this part, and this part is then selected. Okay, now as this part has been selected, I'm going to keep it right over here, and then you can use other tools too. But if you want to use other tools, you will see that it doesn't contain the corner icon like the other ones, which is like all over them, or on all of the tools except for this one. And also there is another one which doesn't contain that, okay, which is going to be this one. Okay, so you will see that only this tool is available for, placeholder frame for images. You can also add in your image just as you want. So I'm going to do is show it to you like this. Let's say I'm going to select on this. And if you want to add in, it's not yet selected perfectly. Like it has to be, a circular shape or maybe a square shape. And then only you will be able to do that. Let's say if you want to select circle, you'll be able to select it circularly and, keep it according to your need. But as I don't need it, I'm going to do is just click on Ctrl Z as I'm done with it, or you can also press enter to discard it and use another tool. Next is going to be this eyedropper tool. You can select whichever color you want from your screen or a part of your screen. Let's say you cannot match the shades of 2 different colors, but what you have to do is just use this tool to get that perfect type of color which you want by selecting it from the screen so that you can mask it perfectly. Let's say I'm going to select on this part, and you can see that the color panel is now changing and it's giving me color to each and every part of the photo, which is like very simple, right? You'll be able to do that. If you want other tools, let's say 3D material eyedropper tool, you'll be able to do that too, but only if you have 3D models and 3D material in your photo. Then we have this color sample tool. You can take color samples and get the code and all of these. Just like this one, the R is 201, G is 170, and blue is 137, which construct this specific color which is found on the screen. You can use other tools too, such as ruler tool. You'll be able to rule or get the length and all of those. Let's say till here, and you will get that too right over here, and all of those weight and height, X and YZ, and all of those. If you want different, let's say node tool, you'll be able to note it too, like over here. You can see you can add in your node, let's say G and whatever you want. After you're done, just remove that tool or remove whichever one you want. Let's say I'm going to click on cancel. I'm going to select on this part, and I can remove it however I want. Let's say layer comps or nodes, whichever one you want. You can type in let's say on here, let's say GHG, and it has been done or it has been added. Press on escape and you can see that it will be added. But if you don't want it, what you have to do is just revert it back, or just keep it, or just press enter, and then you're good to go. Then we have the next tool, which is going to be Spot Healing Brush Tool. Sometimes some commands are a bit different on different updates of Photoshop, and also different UI, or let's say OS. Okay, let's say it's a bit different on iOS and a bit different on Windows. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. Let's say I'm going to use this tool to heal it up. Let's say I'm going to fix this part, let's say, and let's see how it actually fixes that part. Will it be removed? It's not being removed, so I have to select it perfectly. Let's say Spot Healing Brush Tool. I have to select that part and then, increase the size of this. Let's say I'm going to click on this part and I'm going to select this part if it actually gets removed. As you can see, it did not work. What you have to do is you're going to be healing brush tool. What I'm going to do is zoom in for a bit. Let's say I'm going to go up. I'm going to select on this part. What you have to do is, select on the spot healing brush tool. And you can like fix any spots, whichever one you want. Let's say I'm going to see a spot over here and you can see that the spot has been removed, but I can remove these parts too, which are, super grainy and I want it to be a lot smoother. I can like select on it, double click on it, and sometimes, the tool appears up, or sometimes, the tool, if you want to increase and decrease those, you can also do that. Let's say I'm going to remove this part. You can see that there are no teeth right now. I can remove this part too. And that is how this actually works. And you can see it looks a lot weird, because it doesn't have that type of details, which it actually had. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z so that I can revert it back to its normal self. And now you can see it looks just the way it was looking. Okay, I can remove these parts. And you can see it has been removed. I can remove these parts too. Whichever one I want, I can do that, okay? So you can remove certain parts and also, keep it natural. Then that is how this tool actually works. You can also use the patch tool if you see that, there are certain parts that you did as a mistake. You can also select those parts and you can like remove it. This is a lot like clone. Let's say I'm going to use this part and you can take that part as a copy. Or let's say I'm going to take this part as a copy. Let's say I'm going to take this part as a copy and you can see this is how it actually looks. But I'm not going to keep it like this because that looks a lot, unnatural. So I'm going to select on this small part, but I'm going to select on this part of, over here. And now it looks a lot more better, right? If it does, or if you don't like it, just press on Ctrl Z and then you're good to go. Then we have this content aware move tool. You will be able to move up your content to a certain place wherever you want to put it, as you can see right over here. What it does is makes a copy of it and then allows you to put it wherever you want and wherever you want to put it at. So I'm going to press on Ctrl Z as we're done with this tool and you know how to do it, okay? Now the next tool is going to be a bit different. So let's say I'm going to be the red eye tool. If you already used, photo editing software, so you already know what it does. If it has a red eye effect and you want to remove it, that is what it's going to help us on. Let's say the photo doesn't have a red eye. So yet I'm going to select this part and see how it actually works. Let's say I'm going to select this part. And if it has a red eye, it's going to fix that for you and give you a natural looking eye without, without saying that the camera flash caused that and all of those. The next tool is going to be this brush tool. It allows you to, use colors wherever you want. You can also select the brush size and how you want the brush to use. Let's say I'm going to select it to be something like size to be this big, hardness to be this big. Let's say I'm going to be able to use that. You can see the color has been added. And I can only allow it or, do it on certain parts such as this one. What I'm going to do is click on this one and I'm going to select on this one. Do is Control X. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to use the brush now. You can see that I will be able to use the brush however I want. As I don't want that, I'm going to do is zoom out a bit and I can fix this, the size again and, do this and that. Whichever one I want, that's going to be totally up to me. Okay. Now I can also fix the hardness, the, type of brush. Let's say I'm going to use it like this. Or if I want a bit different brush, let's say I'm going to be able to use, a more faded brush like this or, a smaller one. And you can also like remove it as an eraser, which I'm doing right now, which is like an eraser. Let's say I'm going to use all of this to remove all the content which I added. And now you can see it has come back to its, normal self. Do is zoom in. Let's say I'm going to do is fix the size and then we're good to go. Now, the next tool or the last tool is going to be the eraser tool. You'll be also able to erase up data in your exact photo or whichever content you're doing or whichever work you're doing. Let's say I'm going to remove this hairpin from her. So I'm going to do is select on this part and then you will see it will be removed, but it works as a brush. So sometimes it's going to cause some hassle. Okay. What you have to do is, use another stuff. Let's say I'm going to click on this option. I'm going to do is magic erase tool. I'm going to do is remove this part. And you can see it has been removed, and it has also given me, certain pixelated areas which it wants to, remove, and I can add in more data over here because this part has turned into a blank space. Okay, that is like very simple to do. But if you want background eraser tool, what you're gonna do is, rub it all over your screen or where you want it to remove, and that part will be removed and also erased. Okay, now you know all of the 5, but I've also given you an extra one. Okay, given you extra two tools which we used or, told you about in this lesson. As you know all about the tools right now, what you're going to do is, practice it a bit more and see how it actually works so that you can get your exact result. And now we are going to learn about this edit tab where it has all the functionality Adobe Photoshop has to offer. So first I'm going to click on this edit, and you can see that there are a couple of these options. Let's say copy, copy merged, paste, paste special. You will be able to do that, by using which I showed in the previous lesson. And then paste special, which is a bit different, paste in place. If you select a certain place and take it to a screen and then paste it, it will be, pasted in a specific place or a certain place, okay? Then we have is search, check spelling, find and replace text however you want. Then we have is fill, which we also use over here, but if you want to fill it or fill the background or fill a specific place with a certain color, you can also do that. Let's say press OK, and you can see that the photo has turned into a fill. Okay, but I'm not gonna need it, so I'm gonna press on undo and remove it. Then we have is other tools such as stroke. You will be able to add in strokes to if you want to. That is kind of like outlines and all of those, okay, which you'll be able to put. Then we have is content aware scale. You'll be able to use that and also get the scale of, your certain photo, which you'll be able to get from here, X and Y, and also the, width and height and all of those, and amount, protection, and all of those. And then if you don't want that, just press on Control Z or, select on a certain place. If you are done with it, or press on this, click on tool. Then we have is other tools such as puppet warp. You can also warp up your, certain photo by selecting on this. It allows you to get, a certain type of details on your photo, and you will be able to get that too by using that, and also get, specific type of, like, let's say positions of your photo, which by doing that, you can also find other tools such as perspective warp. Selecting on this, and you will see an interface like this will appear up. Then you can select on this option and fix up your grids and fix up your alignments according to your need. And you will also get that it looks a bit different when I do this, okay? Let's say I'm going to do is fix this. And after you're done, just press on this, okay? And you can see the photo is now a bit different. Like, I didn't do it that much. That is why it's causing me to, see it like that. But if I did it a lot more, you would have seen a big difference, okay? Then we have it's free transform. You will be able to transform your photo into something else, okay? That is, totally up to you how you're going to do it. But you will be able to change, change your size or change the photo size, and also, position it wherever you want on your screen. And that is how it actually works. But your photo will only be applied on a certain page or a certain, workspace, just like this one. Okay, it cannot be put or cannot be visible outside of that layer. Then we have is other tools such as, auto align layer, sky replacement. You can also replace the sky or the sky replacement by doing this. It will detect it for a while, and then you'll be able to, fix the sky just like this. If your photo only has a sky, okay, then you can fix it however you want, and also give it a better type of look to it. So that is what the sky tool does. But we can also find such other, functionality it has to offer. Okay, our Photoshop has to offer. You can also define the pattern. You can also use the purge, such as clipboard, histories, and all, video cache, and all of those. You can also use Adobe PDF presets, which you will be able to use, but also use presets. Let's say go to Preset Manager, and you'll be able to select whichever preset you want to use from over here. Let's say I want stamp edges, and click on Done, and that will be directly applied. You might not be able to see that, but it actually is applied to your photo, and also, you will be able to do all of those stuffs right now. Then we have is other ones such as remote connection, color setting. If you want to fix your colors, you can do that from over here. You can also assign your profile by selecting on this. Let's say you want to select the profile. Let's say profile is something like 1988. You can use Apple RGB, color match RGB, and all of those. Let's say I'm going to keep it on ProPhoto RGB. You can see the preset has been added. You can also use something like this. Now you can see it looks a bit dull, but not that bad, alright? Now we can use, let's say, image P3, whichever one you want. Select on the one which you want. sRGB, Pro Photo, image P3, whichever one you want, and after you're done, just press on OK. You can also use working sRGB, don't work, manage this document, and after you're done, just press OK, and then you're good to go. Click on Edit again. Now let's say I want convert to profile. You can also use profiles such as other presets too. You can use keyboard shortcuts, menus, and then toolbar, and then the preferences. There are a couple of these preferences which you can use, such as workspace. Let's say I'm going to fix on my workspace, and you can see all of these tools will appear over here. You can fix up your workspace and also your interface by going through these options of your preference, and after you're done, just press on OK. Well, you don't have to follow all of these steps. I'm just showing you the interface of how it actually works, and if you need a tool, where you are going to find it, okay? So if you feel like it's a bit more advanced for you, Also, I'm giving you another course about the advanced lessons of Adobe Photoshop. So stay tuned so that you get all of the tools and all the usage of Adobe Photoshop in all categories, and also advanced and also basics. So as this course is all about the flexibility and being more, user friendly or beginner friendly, so I'm going to keep it a lot more supple and a lot more beginner friendly. Okay. So we are done on this section of edit. As you can see, all of them has been done. So we are done with this lesson too. So hope you understood everything about this lesson on the edit tab or the edit ribbon of Photoshop, and also the extra tools, except for the first one we showed in the first lesson. Okay. Hope you understood everything again, and also thank you for staying with us and watching this video.